Welcome, everyone. I'm Anna Berry, and today we're taking a closer look at Lexaria Bioscience, a clinical stage company focused on transforming how drugs are absorbed in the body through its proprietary DehydraTECH platform. This is a technology designed to improve oral delivery across a wide range of compounds, from GLP-1 therapies to CBD and antivirals, with a growing portfolio of 65 patents worldwide. Joining me today, we have Rich Christopher, the CEO. Nice to see you today, Rich.
Good morning, Anna. Thanks for hosting us.
Wonderful. Well, let's dive right in. Tell us, what does Lexaria do, and talk about your technology.
Great, thank you. Lexaria is best described as a clinical stage oral-based drug delivery enabling technology company. Our proprietary platform, as you mentioned, is what we call DehydraTECH. The technology is designed to improve both the absorption and the safety profile of drugs when taken orally. It's been tested in a wide range of compounds, including GLP-1 drugs, CBD, antivirals, nicotine, and others, thus showcasing the true platform nature of the technology. And as you mentioned, we're well patented from the standpoint that we have 65 patents that have been granted worldwide.
Well, you mentioned a wide range of compounds. So, where are you focusing your efforts right now?
Our primary focus is currently and has been for the last year, year and a half in the area of GLP-1. So we're talking about weight loss and diabetes management. We've consciously selected or concentrated our efforts in this area due to both the size and the growth of this market. In 2025, the GLP-1 market generated approximately $75 billion in worldwide revenues. That figure was up 50% over the 2024 total of $50 billion. So revenues increased about 50% year over the year. To date, this market has been almost entirely dominated by injectable drugs, most of which have become household names. We're talking about Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro, and Zepbound. In fact, less than 5% of the overall worldwide revenues that were generated in 2025 came from the oral alternatives. In fact, there was only one oral alternative up until the beginning of this year. That product was Rybelsus from Novo Nordisk. This is truly our opportunity. We have reached a point where the demand for new orals is upon us, as evidenced by both the recent launches of oral Wegovy by Novo Nordisk in January of this year, as well as a follow-up launch of Foundayo, another oral product by Eli Lilly. What this all emphasizes is that the tremendous upside that exists within the next generation of oral GLP-1 products. This is really what we are chasing. We are dedicated to advancing and expanding the oral offerings both inside and outside of GLP-1 marketplace.
And with all that said, you mentioned the opportunity, but let's talk about one of the biggest challenges, which is patient tolerability. So, tell us a little bit about the progress you've made from the preclinical to clinical perspective on that.
Right. So we spent a tremendous amount of time and effort in the clinical area. At this point in time, Lexaria has completed a multitude of both animal and human studies. Specifically within GLP-1, we've completed 2 animal studies and 5 human studies, including a phase 1b study that was conducted in Australia just last year. In addition, we've also have a similar amount of work that's been done in the area of hypertension. Here, we've also received FDA clearance to proceed with the phase 1b study, thus providing us sort of what the second significant commercial pathway for us outside of GLP-1.
Perfect. We'll talk a little bit about the business model. So, what does it look like, especially as you scale?
Well, we are executing on what we call a multi-pronged strategy, which has 3 major components. The first prong in the strategy is the lead part of our strategy, and our goal is to conduct smaller type clinical studies that produce compelling data that are done in an effort to attract and partner with pharmaceutical companies that are seeking the benefits of our DehydraTECH technology, right? So it's very much of an out-licensing situation whereby we're trying to produce enough data that is impressive enough to potential suitors that brings them to the table. And we've actually been successful enough in doing that and have an active pharmaceutical company interested in us under a material transfer agreement. The second prong in our strategy is the potential to develop and launch a patented DehydraTECH CBD product, either within or outside of the GLP-1 area, perhaps more specifically in the area of hypertension, as I mentioned. And lastly, there is a potential that we could become the first company to offer an oral version of a leading injectable drug, the drug being liraglutide. Liraglutide is a product that went off market in 2024. We have studied it with DehydraTECH to great success, and we are looking at the potential of moving forward with a short pathway to approval under a 505(b)(2) pathway with the FDA that could lead us to the point where we could launch the first injectable version of liraglutide.
Fascinating. Well, with all of this said, Rich, let's talk about from the investor perspective and potential partners. So, what should they be paying attention to right now?
Right. So I mentioned that we've seen explosive growth in the GLP-1 industry. With that said, the fact of the matter is that this industry is very much plagued by unwanted side effects. These are led by gastrointestinal or GI issues such as nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and constipation. It's estimated that anywhere between 45 to 65% of GLP-1 users actually discontinue the use of the drug within the first 12 to 24 months. This remains an unsolved problem within the industry. So for us, we've now completed 5 human studies in GLP-1. We've tested all 3 of the top drugs in the segment, semaglutide, tirzepatide, and liraglutide. In each and every study, we've shown DehydraTECH's ability to significantly decrease adverse events, and even more specifically, gastrointestinal adverse events, to the tune of a reduction of 50% on average. Patient safety is the area where we're getting the most attention, and it's clearly a differentiating factor for Lexaria.
Well, we certainly look forward to following along with these updates in this very exciting market that everyone is talking about. And it really can be a game changer for so many people's lives. So thank you for this update, Rich. And we certainly look forward to continuing on this conversation with our series. And for all of our viewers, that is Lexaria Bioscience, trading on the NASDAQ under the ticker LEXX. Thanks for joining us today, Rich.
Thank you, Anna.